information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com.
Schools, just in case you don't know, there's a real Italian bakery in Ocala. The name is the Magnolia Bakery. Cannolis and traditional Italian pastries, and they're famous. Italian cheesecake too. And they have hot and cold lunch Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 3. When you spend $8, you get free pizza dough or bread. So call your order in ahead and save time. Call 352-207-2667. Magnolia Bakery on North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala. 352-207-2667. Merry Christmas and God bless.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
The beloved Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life, is live on stage at Ocala Civic Theater, now through December 19th. Retold as a radio play on Christmas Eve 1946, this faithful adaptation of the film is the heartwarming story you know and love. The show magically brings to life George Bailey and all your favorite characters. Ring in the holidays with It's a Wonderful Life at OCT. It's a wonderful tradition for the whole family. Call today for tickets, 352-236-2274.
Dad's service to our country is something we're so proud of. He made a difference and set a great example. Now it's our turn to honor the sacrifices he made for our family and this country. As veteran specialists, Hires Baxley Funeral Service helps us celebrate Dad's life and can help you too. Hires Baxley is here for you during your time of need or when planning for the future. For more information, call 352-484-0891 or visit hiresbaxley.com/choice.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. If you heard that Ocala Civic Theater advertisement, that show's already finished. So that was my mistake. It was a great show, though. It's a Wonderful Life. They did a really good job. I saw one of the actors yesterday at the golf course as I played 9 holes, and told him he did a really good job. It was a really good play. And the Ocala Civic Theater, one of our hidden gems here in our town. Hey, Galen, you know who's on the phone with us. He's brought to you every day by Palm Garden Health Rehabilitation Center. We'd like to thank Palm Garden. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you want to find out how they're handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call at 352-854-6262. We'd like to thank Just Ship. They flipped the script on shipping. Before, you had to get your item, you had to get packaging, you had to get bubble wrap and all to make sure you secured it in. You had to tape it up. Then you had to go stand in line at the post office or the UPS store. Well, that's no more. Just reach out to justship.net, set a time for them to come pick up your item. That's right. They just come pick up the item. They box it up. They package it up. They go stand in line at the UPS store or the post office. So for a pickup fee, small pickup fee, plus postage, you can save time and money. And as we know, time is money, so they save you money on top of money. JustShip.net. And, of course, family-owned and operated Penn Flooring, we'd like to thank them. They've been serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. They owe every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. They're very knowledgeable in all type of flooring applications, commercial and residential included. Go to 1201 Southwest 17th Street to see their showroom here in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. Galen, we were talking before with the break that, the last 45 minutes of Scarface may be some of the best cinematic stuff that a manly man will, or any man or any woman, anybody, I don't know, people that like that kind of movie, that may be one of the best 45 minutes in all of cinematic history.
Well, it's pretty good because, up until that point, you're like, okay, this guy's not that bad of a guy. Right? I mean, yeah, he came over here on a green card. He's living the American dream, and then you realize, oh, this dude is evil.
Evil.
Yeah, and I'm amazed that people think that, oh, no, he's the hero. No, he's an anti-hero. But
at that time in this country, a lot of people, because cocaine was so rampant in this country at that time and all, a lot of people at that time when that movie came out saw him as the hero.
Well, you know it's a remake, right?
Yeah.
The original film in 1932 was banned, and Scarface was a remake. But it's the best remake ever made. You know, usually the second one isn't better. This one is. This one most certainly is. So it's the cast was fantastic. You know, we had no idea who this guy was when he started. You know, the lead actor of Scarface. So it made his career. It's just such an iconic movie, and there's so many quotes.
Yeah, nobody ever knew who Pacino was before he made Scarface. No, he was a nobody. He was a nobody in Hollywood.
He had done some things, but nothing like this.
What do you mean he'd done something? He'd done Kramer versus Kramer. He'd done Kramer versus Kramer. He'd done Dog Day Afternoon. He'd done a lot of stuff before Scarface.
You know, Kramer versus Kramer was a chick.
Won the Academy Award, him and Meryl Streep.
Yeah, it doesn't make it good.
That's fantastic. Fantastic movie if you're a kid going through a divorce at the same time, like I was.
Oh, well, that's true. There you go.
You gotta. It's all in context. But you're right, when you think of Pacino, the first movie that comes to mind is Scarface.
Well, right, absolutely. But Scarface, and you know, Godfather 1 changed what we're looking for in a movie in a lot of ways. There's so much depth in the characters, and the secondary and third characters are so deep. And that relationship is incredible. Godfather 3 is terrible.
And Godfather 2 Godfather 2 is the only sequel to win the Academy Award.
Yeah, but it rode the coattails of 1. Because 1, I think everybody looking back said, how did that movie end?
Well, De Niro's depiction of a young Don Corleone was pretty good in Godfather 2.
And again, another guy we had never heard of. Kidding. So, I mean, he may have driven a taxi around. Okay, fine.
He may have been with Christopher Walken in The Deer Hunter. You never know.
Correct. It would be interesting if you said, okay, name both of those guys. What do you know them for?
Well, Pacino's either Scarface or Godfather.
Correct.
Depending on your age.
Exactly
on your age.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything different. No,
that's it.
For Scarface.
That's it.
Scarface.
But can we just say that they both played Scarface, by the way, De Niro and Pacino? Because De Niro's depiction of Al Capone Scarface in The Untouchables, amazing. I want him dead. I want his family dead.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I never. They're two different characters.
Well, yeah, of course they are. They're not. One was the actual trying to be Al Capone, and the other one was a cocaine drug kingpin in Miami.
Yeah. One's a Cuban, one's a Thai.
Right, but you know what? You talk about a cast that was pretty good. Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Andy Garcia, Robert De Niro. That cast in The Untouchables was pretty good.
It was great. Untouchables is a movie you could sit down and watch right now and go, yep, I wouldn't change anything. And it holds up. So there's movies that watch and you're like, this doesn't hold up. I watched 48 Hours, I don't know, about a week ago.
With Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. I'm like, it doesn't hold up.
Oh, yeah, it's still a movie. It's a movie that it's like the other day, the day after Christmas, yesterday, the day after Christmas, yesterday morning as my wife's getting around, moving around, starting to wake up and all, I'm flipping through the channels, and there it is. Kurt Russell and Tombstone. And it's one of those things that you have to stop. You know, Kevin Costner did a Wyatt Earp movie. It wasn't, But Tombstone and the cast in Tombstone with Sam Elliott and Kurt Russell and Bill Paxton and Val Kilmer playing Doc Holliday. it really, really was a great movie, and it's one of those movies that, you got to stop and watch. Well, that's like The Untouchables. The Untouchables is one of those movies you have to stop and watch. You just, when you get to the Untouchables, you no matter where it's at in the movie, you got to stop and say, I'm watching this now till it's over. I'm watching this movie. That's just how it has to be. We're not turning the channel. We're waiting through the commercials because it's one of those type movies. And there's a handful of movies that are like that you have to stop when they're on. And everybody's got their own group of those handful of movies. Like Goodfellas. If Goodfellas is on, I got to stop and watch it. No matter where it's at in the movie, I have to stop and watch it. It does seem like every time I turn Goodfellas on, though, it's at the scene in Maury's Wigs where Maury doesn't want to pay Jimmy Conway his money, and that's when Henry finds out that Karen's been assaulted, and the wig comes off and they're laughing as he's choking him with the phone cord. That does always seem to be the scene that comes on, but it's there are movies that you just have to stop and watch, and that happened over the weekend where there was movies on that I had to stop and watch. And Christmas Day with Goodfellas and The Godfather, can't really go wrong. We're going to take a break, come back more with Galen Unall after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
This be the year you finally get to enjoy Christmas at home. Let the Personal Service Center help you with your presents and goodies. They can gift wrap them, box them up, and ship them out, leaving you more time to enjoy the real meaning of the season. Personal Service Center, corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, 352-789-6683. Look for the yellow signs.
Tick-tock. The days fly by, and we find tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry, though. With a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner & Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner & Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner & Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184.
Welcome to Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you and yours a year ahead full of faith, family, and friends. It's no secret that we have and will face some challenges this year. Now more than ever, we need to reach out to make our workplace a caring community. Wishing you peace, hope, and a brighter new year. Powell Gene, Gene @yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
It's the Mecum Auto Auction in Kissimmee, Florida. The Mecum Auction Company is the world leader of collector car, vintage, and antique motorcycle and road art sales, and this year's auction is in Kissimmee from January 6th to the 16th at the Osceola Heritage Park. WOCA will be broadcasting live from the auction January 7th from 10 a.m. to noon, and you can join us. 5 winners will receive a free one-day ticket for 2 to tour the venue, check out the cars, watch the auction, and take in the Mecum experience. To enter to win, call us at 352-732-8000 when we play this sound.
Sold, 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 sold.
That's 352-732-8000 when this sound is played.
Sold, 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 sold.
This year's auction features over 3,500 vehicles, including the breathtaking McLaren Speedtail. There are only 100 in the world, and you can get up close and personal this year at the Mecum Auto Auction. In order to win, you must be available to attend on Friday, January 7th only. So join Galen Unolda and Shane Matthews live from the Mecum Auto Auction January 7th, 10 a.m. to noon, and listen for this sound.
Sold, 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 sold.
For your chance to win the Mecum Auto Auction Kissimmee, January 6th through the 16th.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
If you thought there was no tree store in Ocala, then think again. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens has been Ocala's official tree store for well over 50 years. At any given time, Bob has more quality trees, dozens of varieties, including shade trees, palm trees, and citrus trees, than anyone in Marion County. You always get lowest prices and guarantee, plus every day you buy one tree, you get a second one for half price. That means you can buy a 4 to 6 foot tree for as little as $49.99 and get another one just like it for only $25. Hundreds of types and sizes are available. You can get delivered, planted, and guaranteed. So think about trees. Think about Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, away from all the traffic. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, Ocala's Tree Place since 1952.
Hey there, I have a question for you. Is your roof asphalt and does it look like it needs replacement? Did you get quotes and were you in sticker shock? Would you like to save not hundreds, but thousands of dollars? Did you call RoofMax? Well, call RoofMax with their patent-pending technology, which can add years to your roof without needing to replace it. And it's easy. You just pick up the phone for a free quote. Plus, they use state-of-the-art satellite technology to measure your roof. So, if your roof is over 7 years old, then you should call RoofMax today at 352-639-2777. That's 352-639-2777.
Sold.
Hey, I didn't know it rained last night.
Oh, it didn't. Why do you say that?
Because little Johnny's in the backyard playing in that big mud puddle.
Did you leave the hose on?
No, the neighbor borrowed it yesterday.
Wait, is that the side where the septic
Johnny, get out of there!
Having septic problems? At Mike Scott Plumbing, we can make those septic worries disappear. We can pump your septic tank, repair your drain field, and, if needed, even install a whole new system. At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't take crap from anyone. We take it from everyone. 237-2888. Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back as we wrap up hour number 1. Galen, having some phone issues, so we've lost him. He may get back on before the hour's up, but if not, we'll talk to him tomorrow. Galen from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring, Just Shipped, and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. Go out and give a gift to life. Give blood today. I would like to tell you where the blood mobile is. I'm trying to see if he can tell me where it is, but always you can go right there on the boulevard just across from Chase or Southern State Bank and South State Bank and give blood there as well. So go out and give to life, give blood, Life South. Hopefully he'll get back on with us, but if not, we'll press on. We're talking about movies over the holidays, but football happened over the holidays as well. A lot of bowl games being canceled because of COVID. And the NFL, the playoff picture became a little clearer yesterday in the NFC anyway, as 5 teams out of the 7 have clinched playoff berths. The AFC still a mess. Kansas City, though, clinched a playoff berth yesterday with a trouncing of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boy, what a franchise. How good that franchise used to be, and now they're just on a sad situation right now. Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's too old to play the game. They can't block for him. It's really difficult for Pittsburgh to get anything going. And then the Dallas Cowboys yesterday qualified for the playoffs by destroying NFC East rival Washington Redskins. Didn't see that one coming. Thought that game would be a lot closer as the Dallas Cowboys blew the Redskins out. It wasn't even close. Was not even close. Neither one of those games, Kansas City-Pittsburgh game or the Dallas-Washington game, were close. Chicago comes back at the last minute to beat the Seattle Seahawks in a game that was a little unusual as they're experiencing snow up in the Northwest right now. The Seattle area, not really known for large amounts of snow. They do get it up in the mountains around Seattle, but not really in Seattle a whole lot. It's more of a rainy situation. But yesterday, they had snow, and the field was covered in snow. It was one of those old, harkens back to the slobber knocker days of football when they're out there in the cold and the snow and playing football. It's good football weather. I say that as a guy who played in the South all his life, and every time he went and played in the cold, hated it. But you always like watching it on TV. It just seems like that harkens back to the days of Dick Butkus, Mike Ditka, those guys. They look like they'd be at home playing in that kind of weather. And that was what presented the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears yesterday. And so the Bears victorious. The Arizona Cardinals on Saturday, again, supposed to be one of the best teams in the NFC, laid an egg. Didn't look very good. This season with 17 games, it just one game extra just seems like it makes it so much longer. And, it's only one game. I know it's only one game, but it just makes it seem like and that more people have a shot at the playoffs because of that one extra game. My beloved Falcons yesterday beat the Detroit Lions in a close game. Boy, Detroit, good foot. Shut up. They're horrible. Falcons not much better, although they did pull back. I think they're 7-8 now, or 8-8, 7-8, 8-8, something. They're not good, but still in the playoff hunt. Even though there are 5 teams qualified in the NFC, there's still 2 teams, and it's still close on who's getting in and who's getting out. And it is now time to start looking at college basketball. Now that we get past the Christmas holiday, it started January, college basketball will get into the conference play, and that's when you start watching college basketball, is when it gets into conference play. I'm not a big fan of the NBA. I know they had a big slate on Christmas Day. I didn't watch much of it. I think I peeked in at the Brooklyn-LA game for about 5 minutes on Christmas Day. But it's just one of those things with LeBron. I just can't wrap my head around the whole thing and LeBron James and how the players run the sport, and it's no longer a sport. The players dictate exactly what happens and everything. It's not a sport I can wrap my head around a whole lot. But they did have a full slate on Christmas Day. But college basketball is the next sport that's going to ramp it up now after this weekend coming up. Because this weekend coming up, that's when Alabama in the early game takes on the University of Cincinnati. In the late game, Michigan and Georgia face off. And I'm with a week to go, I don't think Alabama's going to have very much trouble with Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati will play a good football game, but I think Alabama will not have very much trouble. And I think Alabama will has already instituted and I know you don't look past teams, but they're probably putting in two sets of plays, or they're geared up to make sure that they understand that what they're doing for Cincinnati, they're going to expound on the following week if they win, to get prepared, because you only have a week turnover after the playoffs, after the 2 playoff games, Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. And then, it's about 8 days, 9 days, and then you play the national championship game. The other game is very intriguing, Michigan and Georgia. Michigan, first time they've been in the tournament. Jim Harbaugh, their coach, much maligned coach because he couldn't beat Ohio State, finally beat Ohio State this year, propelled him into the playoffs, into a number 2 seed in the playoffs from the number 5 seed. Georgia, embarrassed by Alabama. Their defense that was so touted as being one of the best. I myself said one of the best defenses I'd seen in the last 30, 35 years. They were exposed in the SEC championship game by Alabama and Alabama's pinpoint accurate Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and the Alabama receivers. Georgia's secondary was exposed. Now, they've had 3.5 weeks to work on that by the time this game comes up. So will they be ready? Kirby Smart's never going to, he's never going to not coach. So I suspect that Georgia has made some adjustments that they probably think are going to be adequate to beat Michigan. But it's that 2-3 game is the game that is the one that I think will be the most compelling. I know I'm out on a limb there saying that Michigan-Georgia will be a better game than Alabama-Cincinnati. I know I'm out on a limb with that prediction, but I just think that the Michigan-Georgia game will be more compelling. I don't know how I'm going to come down on it yet, but I do know that I got Alabama in the championship game. The 2-3, I'm still looking at it, seeing what's been happening at practice, listening to some of the people that have been going to the press conference and all. So I hadn't made my choice yet on the Michigan-Georgia game, but I will by the end of the week. It's Friday. Friday at 3:30 is the Alabama game. 7:30 is the Georgia-Michigan game. So still got college football to take care of. Then the pros are in the playoffs after next week. And then college basketball ramps up. So we got a lot of sports still to come. And Galen Unall and I will discuss them. Galen Unall from Life South. Go give the gift of life. Go to Life South. You can always go give blood right there at the main campus of Life South, just across from Chase Bank and South State Bank on the boulevard here in Ocala. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with hour number 2 of Ocala Talks. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Thousands of customers were without power Monday as a storm slammed the Pacific Northwest, forcing some highways in Northern California and Nevada to close. With travel warnings issued in the Sierra Nevada mountains, more than 6,000 flights worldwide have been canceled over the 3-day Christmas weekend as airlines continue to contend with Omicron policies that are in place, creating staff shortages. A conflation of events. That's how Dr. Fauci on ABC News describes the latest COVID-19 test kit shortages in America.
The situation where you have such a high demand, a conflation of events, Omicron stirring people to get appropriately concerned and wanting to get tested, as well as the fact of the run-on tests during the holiday season. We've obviously got to do better. I mean, I think things will improve greatly as we get into January, but that doesn't help us today and tomorrow.
USA Radio News.
Here's a great thing to consider doing right now before the end of the year. Call Medishare and find out just how much you would save by switching to Medishare, the affordable alternative to health insurance. When you call, you'll get some good news and probably be very happily surprised, too. The typical family saves $500 a month, but you might save even more. It's so worth it to at least find out. And you'll see why more than 400,000 people are already members. Medishare is a Christian community that's shared more than $4 billion in each other's healthcare costs. It really is remarkable, and they're very easy to talk to. And here's the thing. If you join before the end of the year, they'll waive your new member fee. That's another $170 you'll save. I'll give you the number here in a second. The call, and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 31st, so call now. You'll save even more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. Peanut farmers have a checkoff program that funds the National Peanut Board. They recently met to discuss what's going to happen now after the pandemic.